And problems like this are exactly what mayors from across the country are facing, and that's what they went to Washington to talk about. They're urging lawmakers to put aside partisan differences and come up with some stimulus plan. Joining me now is Providence, Rhode Island Mayor David Cicilline. Mayor, thanks for being with us this morning. So you were one of the mayors that went to those meetings in Washington yesterday. How did it go? I know you're dealing with a lot of challenges in your city. What did you tell White House advisors that you met with?
We went to Washington really with one important message, and that is that the American people need an economic recovery and reinvestment plan that gets Americans back to work. We shared what was happening in our cities, the unemployment, the foreclosure crisis, the fact that it was becoming increasingly difficult for people to find work. And we were there to support the president's plan that will create 3 to 4 million jobs in the next 2 years, that will put Americans back to work quickly, and in addition to that, we'll make investments in infrastructure and education and technology and renewable energy that will really lay the groundwork for the rebuilding of our economy so that we can continue to compete in the global economy of the 21st century. So they're good investments in the short term.
And Mr. Mayor, there's a big debate over, as you take a look line by line at some of the items that are in this bill, there's debate on many of them as to whether or not this is going to mean stimulus and jobs now, whether some of these are pet projects. And so, as you, as well as mayors across the country, come to Washington and try to explain why your city or your town or your state needs the money, what do you say? What are some of the shovel-ready projects, for example, in your state, in your city that are ready to go?
Well, we have $570 million worth of shovel-ready projects in Providence that would create 6,600 jobs, and they range from sidewalks to street repairs to rebuilding schools to installing technology. And every city has those projects, but what they share in general all across the country is that they're investments that leave a legacy. They're investments in infrastructure and technology and education that leave a legacy, that produce the framework to get us out of this recession and rebuild our economy. So they have benefits in the short term, getting Americans back to work, but also, in addition to that, really do lay the groundwork for long-term economic recovery and health and prosperity. We did not go to Washington asking the federal government to give us resources to fill our budget gaps, and every city faces serious challenges. We're not asking for that. We're asking that the government make investments that will create jobs immediately in cities all across this country, but also will, again, invest in infrastructure and technology and education, the things that will ensure that we can continue to grow the economy and create more jobs.
I got you. Also, quickly before we go, do you think that the foreclosure problem, I know you guys are facing big foreclosure problems in Providence as well, should that be something that gets hammered out in this bill, or is that perhaps for another time in another place to be able to get this done as quickly as possible?
It is urgent that it be done in this bill. It's urgent that it be done now. But we were there to say, put aside the partisan bickering. We were Democrats and Republican mayors saying the American people need bold action. They need it now. It should have transparency, which the president's plan has unprecedented transparency and accountability. But it needs to be done quickly. We can't wait. And we were there to bring that message to Washington.
All right. Mayor David Cicilline of Providence, good luck with all of it. I know you guys are facing some big challenges there. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you so much.
Well, big families.